Welcome to this week's reefing news. Right, here is the one that stopped me this week. During a marine heatwave, brown porites bleached at 46%. The green colonies sitting right next to them showed no bleaching at all, not 46%, against zero. Same reef, same water, same species. This is reefing news for the 10th of August. A quiet week on the shop floor and a very loud week in the lab. Let's start at home. Ultramarine are reporting a brand new shrimpgoby. It has been named for the sunrise of Java. And that is genuinely all I have. The feed carries the announcement only. No scientific name, no depth, no locality I can stand behind, so I am not going to invent them. Go and read the ultramarine piece. Link below. No UK shop openings this week. No show announcements. Nothing from Jamie Cragg's, Project Coral, or the Horniman. I would rather tell you that than pad it out. Over on Ultimate Reef, 2 threads worth your time. First, somebody has posted proper first impressions of Red Sea's ReefControl now that units are in UK hands. Real-world feedback, not launch marketing. Second, and less happily, a report of a leaking KH manager. 1 user, 1 incident, not a pattern. But if you run one, go and look at yours tonight. Livestock, nothing this week. No new arrivals, no rare fish, nothing from Cairns Marine. That does happen. The collecting side goes quiet, the shipping goes quiet, and the shrimpgoby does not count here. That is a scientific description, not a fish you will see in a shop. If something has landed in a UK shop and I have missed it, put it in the comments, genuinely. You lot spot things before the feeds do. Gear. 1 launch, and on paper it is a big one. It is called Gravity. It comes from B-SPX, and reef builders are calling it the mother of all LEDs. Here is where I have to be careful with you. No price, no spectrum, no PAR figures, so I'm not going to guess at any of them. A light with no numbers attached is just a nice photograph. Now the science. Back to those porites. This was Weizhou Island in the northern South China Sea during the 2020 marine heatwave. The green colonies were making 7.2 times more green fluorescent protein than the brown ones, plus heat shock proteins, plus antioxidants. So color is not just cosmetic, it looks like armor, and a colony that has browned out may have lost more than its looks. Second paper, and this one breaks a rule of thumb a lot of us repeat. 4 soft coral genera, heated in the lab. Litophyton did the worst. Fastest crash in photosynthetic efficiency, the most symbiont loss, the highest mortality. Sarcophyton and Lobophytum held up far better, and here is the twist. Litophyton was carrying Durusdinium, the supposedly heat-tough symbiont. The tougher genera carried Cladocopium. So judge your leathers by what they actually do in your tank, not by the reputation of what lives inside them. Next, organ pipe coral. That gorgeous red skeleton is sold near enough universally as Tubipora musica. 136 colonies. 6 Indo-Pacific provinces. Morphology plus phylogenomics. It is not 1 species. It is 15 distinct lineages, each with a restricted range, sister species locked to the Red Sea, to Madagascar, to Eastern Australia. Yours is probably not musica, and a lovely one for the fraggers. Xenia umbellata. It will regenerate a complete, working polyp from a fragment about 1/10 of a millimeter across. Tentacle tissue or polyp body, it does not care. It even rebuilds its polarity after both ends have been amputated. That is your answer to why Xenia takes over. It is also a very good reason to be careful about what leaves your tank on the end of a siphon. Staying with the small stuff, Acropora larvae on a biofilm surface do something nobody had properly described. Random crawling, then circular crawling, then an upright pause, search, evaluate, confirm, and they abort constantly, swim off, come back and try again. Settlement is not a moment, it is a repeated decision, which is exactly why condition plugs and tiles matter so much. Now, Pochilopora acuta, 326 colonies were genotyped in Kaneohe Bay, Hawaii. Over 60% now carry 3 copies of the genome instead of 2. Triploids, apparently born of hybridization with Damacornis. And the bleaching events did not select for them, they were already there. Faster growth may be why they climbed. 2 colonies of the same species can differ at the genome copy level. The bleakest paper of the week comes from Pioneer Bay on Weizhou Island on the inshore Great Barrier Reef, stable for a full year. Then thermal stress in 2024, then thermal stress and a flood plume together in 2025. Mean colony density fell from 16.78 per square meter to 2.97. Genus richness went from 16.58 down to 5.17. Heat alone was survivable, heat plus the plume was not. Stacked stressors are the thing driving inshore reef loss. Something warmer. Amphiprion clarkii, 48 hours after being introduced to a host. The anemone was Entacmea quadricolor, the one most of us keep in the fish. Genes for sensory perception and memory changed expression in key brain regions. In the skin, neurotransmitter release, cytoskeleton organization, venom receptor proteins. Acclimation is learning, plus a skin rebuild, which is the best explanation yet for why pairing a clown to a new anemone takes time and does not always take. 2 papers on crown of thorns. They eat reefs faster than reefs recover. First, a new electrochemical DNA sensor that picks their environmental DNA out of water at 2.02 femtograms per microliter. And it is built for the boat, not the lab. Catching a buildup from a water sample on site is the difference between a cull that works and one that arrives too late. Second, 10 years of Great Barrier Reef sampling, 258 stations, 8 spawning seasons, surface water at 5 meters was consistently too nutrient poor to speed those larvae up. Deeper water past roughly 20 meters often was not, so the food that matters may be coming up from below rather than washing off the land. Global scene quickly. Reef builders report that aquabiomics may be shutting down. If you have been sending them samples for microbiome testing, go and read that one properly. Reef Beef have dropped episode 164 with Sanjay Joshi. Always worth the listen. The Reefers Network have a new video up on YouTube as well. It is called Once Upon a Time in Reefing, a Q&A session. Go and have a look for yourself, link below. And reefs.com have published a guide to treating brown jelly disease. Bookmark it before you need it. Because when you need it fast. So, a quiet week on the shop floor, a loud week in the lab. Every paper, every link, all of it is down in the description.